It all started freshman year in Mr. Moran's math class. Me and two of my friends, JP and Clint, started footworking, trying to act like we really knew what we were doing. From then on, we were known as Royal Juke Squad. The only competition we really ever had in the beginning was a sophomore group called Wildworks and a couple of other footworkers, always having battles at football games and after school. Halloween that year, we decided to make a video, a short horror film, mixed with footworking. That video now has over 17,000 views. That was the turning point for us. After that, we were doing bigger and better things. We were going anywhere, battling anyone. To us, we were the best group around. Cocky, with a lot of pride.
Look at what we do. Watch us. Yes. This is what we...
Later, me and Clint fell off. He wasn't the most trustworthy person. So me and P was doing our own thing for a while. Then we went to trial for a new group called 300. This was the first time we got into the official game. Actually became Chicago footworkers instead of just being suburban footworkers. We made the trials, but on probation. So we didn't really go to practice that often. After a while, 300 fell apart. Months later, Bam called us, proposing we put the group back together. Only problem, most of the old members didn't come back. So we became the new 300. We started out in the basement of a weed man's house, having practice once a week. But it wasn't a problem for any of us, since we enjoyed being together doing the thing we love. After a while, New 300 became a family.
Look at EB. Look at EB. Who is that? Look at EB at Marlon Wayne's. Kicking.
Cool. By practicing for that show, we moved from the dirty weed man's basement to a large suburban basement. There was one point where me and Greedy were the only ones to make it to Gage Park to show Budilla our new routine. There I met black boys from Chicago that to me were celebrities. Creation, aka C-Mob. I remember before I started footworking seeing them on YouTube. Later on, I realized the same way I saw them is how people look at me now.
Hey, Tagg.
Like a Chicago celebrity. After our show at the high school, we were invited downtown to the Positive Production Studio. They shot a video which aired on TV. We were definitely moving up. So I pulled a few strings and got us out of the basement into a large empty house.
Check this out.
And let them know that this is the whole practice spot.
After a while, Clint somehow found his way back into the mix, but things were looking good. We had one of the best practice spots in the game, a good squad, and we were planning and practicing for big things, shows, parades, etc. But when JP flipped to Havoc, that's when everything fell apart. I was mad. He wanted me to come with him, but 300 had become my family. We were actually making moves. I just couldn't understand how he could just leave his family. So that's when everyone started flipping, and Havoc became my worst enemy. It came down to only 3 of us left. Everyone else had stopped making it to practice. So, the last practice, Havoc came by for a battle. That was my time. That day, I footworked like my life depended on it. There wasn't no way I was going to let these traitors march on our territory and not leave devastated. It was a 3-on-3, but I was so hyped I hogged turns, just so I could make sure they went home with a loss. That video led to a world of controversy. It was one of the most dramatic on YouTube, if you know the story behind it. It was basically 300 versus 300 traders, also known as Tagg versus JP. After that, footworking wasn't the same. Not without the team I started with. So Tagg's last day of school was my last video footworking. I stopped working at the end of my sophomore year. Every now and then, I look back on it and say, I missed the life.